The Baltimore Ravens go into Cleveland and win 23-16, bringing Baltimore's season record to 5-5 right now, which, if you remember, they were 1-5 at one point. Did you know this is the first time since I think 2020 that Baltimore swept Cleveland in the regular season? Did you know that this was the first game in almost 3 years that Lamar Jackson did not throw a touchdown pass? Better yet, Lamar Jackson did not have a touchdown. There's always craziness between Baltimore and the Browns, and this was the definition of a gritty game. You had to lean on Derrick Henry, 18 carries for 103 yards. Mark Andrews had his longest rush and the second longest rush by a tight end, I think, ever. One carry for 35 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, it was a 4th and 1, and then they faked it, and it was a great play. This Baltimore team, this is probably I don't know what it is, man, but this is probably the second. Let me see. Oh, hold on. That sucks. This is probably the second game in a row where Lamar Jackson didn't play well. But you're playing against one of the best defenses in football, and I will say it now. Not only I don't care what their record is. Not only should, and I believe there's not a defensive player even close. And that shout out to T.J. Watt, shout out to Patrick Surtain, shout out to Derek Stingley, shout out to Micah Parsons. There is not a defensive player close to Myles Garrett right now. Myles Garrett, I think, had 4 sacks on the day. There is not a defensive player playing better than Myles Garrett. And the way that Myles Garrett is playing this year rivals some of those Aaron Donald years. And there's a lot of people that consider Aaron Donald the greatest, or at least one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Myles Garrett is going crazy, hands down. And shout out to the Baltimore Ravens for the offensive line, bro. I don't know who number 77. I think his name is Falele or something like that. He got to be one of the worst offensive linemen in football. I'm sorry. The number 77 on the Ravens got to be one of the worst offensive linemen in football, dog. Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, this is the second game in a row where Lamar Jackson necessarily didn't play well. And I think, you're going against the Browns defense, and he did finish with 2 interceptions. Only one of them, I would say, was probably you can put on Lamar Jackson. The other one, bro, it went off, wasn't it Keon Mitchell? It went off his hands. So, yeah. Oh, and the other one, he threw it, and it got batted up in the air. So, technically, either one of them should be on Lamar Jackson, but it is what it is. But, yeah, this is yet another win for Baltimore. Now, let's talk about the big news from this game. And that is Dylan Gabriel goes out with a concussion, and Sheduer Sanders goes in the game. And he had some moments, but overall he didn't look good. He had an interception. He went 4 for 16. It just didn't look good. Now you're hearing a lot of people, obviously, which I don't understand why he did this, because it's just the optics, bro. I don't get why he did this. But Kevin Stefanski comes out and says that Um, Sheduer Sanders, this is the first time in this game since he got drafted that he got first team reps in the game. And you even saw like, and they said it. They didn't know his cadence like that. They weren't familiar with. It was just a lot. I just don't get it. Now you're hearing a bunch of people say, this is normal, this, that, and third, and I'm like, okay, well, my thing is, that Dylan Gabriel, I understand that he's a rookie. I understand that you want everything. You're trying your best to make that work. Dylan Gabriel has an extensive injury history, and you knew that when you drafted him. Why not be prepared? And on top of that, if, let's say, Bailey Zappi, because there are reports that possibly Bailey Zappi was getting, if Bailey Zappi was getting first team reps, then why throw Sheduer Sanders out there? When he didn't have any reps. And on top of that, if you knew he didn't have any reps and you knew that he was better than Bailey Zappi, or you were going to go to him instead of Bailey Zappi, why was Bailey Zappi getting first team reps? Do you see the contradiction here? Like, I understand that people are saying, well, usually backups don't get first team reps. Okay. But we're not talking about, people want to bring up, Peyton Manning winning all the reps. Nobody on that team is Peyton Manning. They were saying Brett Favre, he had all the reps. Nobody on that team is Brett Favre. Like, what? I'm not going to go, because I've never been in an NFL locker room like that. I'm not going to call it malpractice. What I'm saying is, Kevin Stefanski definitely didn't put, not just himself, he didn't put his team, and he didn't put Sheduer in the best position to win. You didn't prepare. I don't know, bro. But Sheduer Sanders will be starting next week. Who they play next week? They are playing the. Oh shoot! Nope. Give me a second. I want to see who they're playing, because I know Sheduer Sanders is starting next week. Oh, they're playing the Raiders. Hey, it's a big game, man. But congratulations to the Ravens for beating the Browns 23-16. Oh, actually, hold on. I said this, and people are killing me for it. But I don't think that Sheduer Sanders is going to succeed in Cleveland. I think that Kevin Stefanski necessarily doesn't want him to succeed. I don't think the organization really wants him to succeed. That's all I'm saying. I mean, there's nothing. Again, I know that, and I know that Dylan Gabriel is a rookie, so you're gonna want him to get most of the first team reps, but to get absolutely none since being drafted, yeah, nah. Again, congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens for beating the Cleveland Browns 23-16. The Green Bay Packers beat the Giants 27-20. Jordan Love did not have a good game again. He threw for 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. Malik Willis threw for a touchdown. Shout out to him. What's his name? Josh Jacobs got hurt. I don't know the severity of the injury right now, but he got hurt, and it looks like he could miss a couple games, maybe a game. I don't know. Jameis Winston didn't play bad, and he had one interception, but Bro, that interception is solely on Jalen Hyatt. Why did you stop running? That's that's my thing, bro. Why do wide receivers stop running on the route sometimes? I know I'm not a NFL, like I've never played football like that, or I've never been a wide receiver, but why stop running? If he would have kept going, I'm not saying he would have caught the ball, but Jameis Winston would not have thrown an interception. Jameis Winston played really good. It's just this is yet another time where the Packers defense played well. The Packers offense, I'm starting to realize it's just not gonna be up to snuff. You gotta, yeah. It's gotta be the defense that carries them. Michael Parsons had a good game because if not, they're gonna struggle. But hey, congratulations to the Green Bay Packers, and I'm interested to see they're gonna have to weather the storm because we don't know how long Josh Jacobs, if he's gonna miss any games, how long that's gonna be. So, congratulations to the Green Bay Packers for beating the Giants 27-20. Hey, I can't. I can't put into. I don't understand this Carolina Panthers team. I don't. One week they look like the worst team in football. One week Bryce Young looks like he shouldn't even be in the league. One week the offense is putrid. One week it's a Rico Dowell show. It's I can't understand it, bro. The Carolina Panthers beat the Falcons in overtime 30-27. Bryce Young had his best game ever. 31 for 45, 448 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times, but still. He threw a career high 448 yards. Now, if you want to take the sacks away, 419 yards. Did he rush for anything? Rush for -1. So, I can't quantify how this team is crazy, bro. It's insane. Shout out to them, man. Rico Dowell's only had 45 rushing yards, but when you have Bryce Young, in fact, McMillan had 130 yards and Xavier Legette had 83. McMillan, the rookie, had 2 touchdowns and Xavier had 1. They were going crazy, bro. Yeah, Bryce Young, bro. No, I can't quantify this team. And let's go over to the Falcons, bro. The Falcons have to be. I can't. I feel terrible for the Falcons because of the situation that they're in. And here's my thing. I'm gonna say it, and most people are gonna say it, but and so put it aside, I'm gonna say something, and I understand that you always want to shoot for the best option. You never want to move on the worst option. Like, you never want to make a decision thinking that the worst option is going to happen. While the worst option can happen, you don't want to say, oh, no, it's going to happen. I get that. But I'm going to say it. Michael Penix gets hurt. They're looking at the severity, or they're trying to figure out the severity. It could be an ACL, but they're saying that more than likely he's out for the season. Because it's at least somewhere in the knee or around the knee. We're talking about a player that had extensive, and I'm talking about multiple season-ending ACL injuries in college. In fact, one of the reasons why they were praising him so heavily when he went to Washington and made it all the way to the national championship is because the injuries that Michael Penix sustained, I think it was in Indiana, you don't come back from. And he came back multiple times. But this is the fear that you had. Now, I understand why you kept Kirk Cousins on the roster, even though I don't think anybody really wanted to trade for him from what you were asking for. But Michael Penix is out. This is why people say they were a little confused why Michael Penix went, I think it was 7th overall in the first round. Injury history. He's older than I think all the other quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks. So it's like he can get hurt. They're in such a bad spot because it doesn't look like Michael Penix is going to play again this year, and they don't even own their first-round pick. The Rams own their first-round pick for next year. So, in all actuality, there is a world where the Rams win the Super Bowl and have a top 5 pick. Because Drake London's out, too. The Falcons are in such a bad spot, bro. They're in such a bad spot. But because Kirk Cousins, he hasn't been good really since he hurt his shoulder last year. Bijan Robinson, there's only so much you can do. Drake London, yeah. I don't know. Congratulations to the Panthers for beating the Falcons 30-27. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.